What it do, people? You know what it is, and you know what it sounds like. NBA, second day, picking with Pop. You're now tuned in. Let's get the intro going.
Yeah, Great Fire, Rich Famous.
Winner, chicken dinner, money long clicking. Those that do it daily, one-on-one popovism. Coupe gray, got the fire badge lit up. Hit the band line in the air, throwing signals. Winner, chicken dinner. 1,000 on the table, 100,000 in the bank account. Trying to get rich. Who else trying to break the house? What it do, people? You're now tuned in to Popovis, NBA picking with Pop. Yesterday, opening night, NBA, Boston Celtics got their victory, so we won. That was our pick of the day. Lakers got their victory. We had Minnesota. Small lean towards Minnesota as far as just I thought they would win. But if you didn't watch the first video, and this is your first time tuning in, before we get to today's picks, we got 10 games on the schedule. I do view sports from a scripted and rigged perspective. So yesterday, Lakers got their opening night victory. Bronny James and LeBron James. So salute to them for getting that moment over. We knew it would happen. We knew it would come to fruition. Now that that's over, I think he'll go to the G League. I think JJ Redick will try to get the Lakers, into the playoffs. I think they will make the playoffs, but I think they'll be a middle of the pack, maybe kind of sort of playing team like the last couple of years. Anyway, got a 10-game slate. Let's get to the picks. Not going to be doing a lot of talking. I know yesterday, if you watched yesterday's video, it was a 16-minute video. I'm trying to, get people familiar, do an introduction. I don't bet on all the games. So out of the 10 games today, if it's 20 games, if I go 3 or 5 and 15 and I win all of the games that I bet, then it's a winner, chicken dinner day. I don't really care about the games that I don't bet. Not to say that, my knowledge or my input on the game I want to give to you, I want it to be wrong. Obviously, I want to be right. I want to fucking be right. And I give the picks, I do the studying, I give my hunches, etc., because I want you guys to win money too. However, I don't bet on all the games. I bet on the games that I think I have the best feel for and I think I could get some value in. With that being said, NBA opening night, 2 times. We start with Indiana Pacers out on the road at Detroit. Detroit a home dog getting 5. Indiana in preseason, they looked like they was a little lackluster, like they was waiting for the regular season to start. On the flip side, I think Detroit came in the preseason, new energy, new coach, a couple of new pieces, Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway, etc. 6 man off the bench for Dallas Mavericks. And last year, Detroit, even though they was one of the worst teams in the NBA, they did cover a lot of the spreads. If you took Detroit in certain spots, then you won some money. Opening night, I think they give it their all, but I think Indiana come out and I think they, handle their business. Even though Indiana is a team, for the lack of a better terminology, they like to play with their food. So they'll come out, be down 12, be down 11 before, after halftime, you down 6. Then got to wait till the third quarter, the fourth quarter to ramp it up. And depending on the spread, even though the spread is only 5, they won't cover a lot of times. Even though they made the Eastern Conference Finals last year. But I got Indiana tonight. I think they the better team. I think Detroit try to figure it out with the new pieces, with the new coach. I'm going to go with Indiana. Next on the board, we got Brooklyn Nets at Atlanta. Trae Young is ice cold. Atlanta, they look high in the preseason. I like the number 1 draft pick that they got. I can't think of his name right now. Matter of fact, let's look at his name real quick. Rentier, Zachary, whatever his name is. Rookie, 6'9", or what he's saying? Yeah, they got him at 6'9.5. He looked pretty good in the preseason. Had that fall. I forget what team it was. He fell. Looked like they broke off them. Nonetheless, he popped back up. When you're young and you spry, you could do that. Atlanta giving 8 points, a lot at home. No more Devontae Murray. He's in New Orleans now. We get to them in a minute. The public is on Brooklyn with the 8. And obviously, money line, we're looking at the CBS Sports app. Obviously, money line, the public is on Atlanta, minus 334. So that's a lot. Even though I do think they're going to win the game. Will they cover the spread? They should cover the spread. So our lean is towards Atlanta. I'm not going to bet on the game. That's not one of my best bets today. But I think Atlanta should win. Next game, next on the board, Orlando Magic at Miami. Miami Heat, all systems is go. One of the best teams in the East last few years. Orlando on the up and come up, interstate rivals. Orlando been a good ATS team to bet with last year. They was profitable last year. Miami kind of faltered, a lot of injuries, a lot of Jimmy Butler antics, if you will, and things of that nature. Nonetheless, Pat Riley is still in control. Nonetheless, Eric Spoelstra is still at the helm, and the spread is 2. I like Miami to open up the season with a win. I'll give who I'm taking tonight, who I'm going to be putting my money on a little later in the show. I guess I'll do that at the end of the show. Like if it was football, I give out the picks. Then at the end of the show, we get to the winner chicken dinners. But I like Miami in that game. Next game, this is on ESPN. We got Milwaukee Bucks going against Philadelphia 76ers. You know what I'm saying? Got the Bucks. And we got Sixers. No Joel Embiid, unfortunately. No Paul George. Hyperextended himself in the preseason. Milwaukee was favored 2.5. When I looked at the spread early on, now Philly is -3 according to CBS Sports app. Let me just take a quick look on my FanDuel account. See if that's accurate real quick. Philly is getting 3.5, so that's not accurate. CBS they didn't update. So at first it was Milwaukee -2.5. Now it's 3. It's 3.5 on FanDuel, and that's because again Joel Embiid is out, Paul George is out, Chris Middleton is out too. Though obviously they still got Giannis Antetokounmpo. They still got Dame Lillard. They still got Brook Lopez. I think they brought in Garrett Trent from, you think he was on Toronto or he was on another team prior to being on Toronto? First he was on Toronto, then I think he went to another team. This one here, the public is on Milwaukee, obviously. I think Philly could get it done, honestly speaking. They got Maxey, got Kelly Oubre, they got Caleb Martin, they got Drummond, who's serviceable. Obviously, Giannis, when fully healthy, he's one of the best players in the world, top 3, top 5 for some last couple of years. Based off playoff performance, hasn't been looking like that because that's what we base who's the best is in the playoffs challenge. Like we want to see you in the playoffs. Regular season is cool, you get the MVP and all that, but then you got to make it in the playoffs. And they haven't been quite that last couple of years. You falling on your back, hurting your tailbone, a lot of injuries. Sure they want to come into the season, all systems go. Not going to be surprised if Milwaukee pull it out. But I'm gonna lean towards Philly for some. Philly at home, interstate rival. I know Paul George not playing. I know Joel Embiid not playing. But I'm going with Philly. I know Doc Rivers returned back home. They already went through this last year, so it's not really a revenge game. They already fired him. You're fired, and he been on Milwaukee. Obviously for the latter part of last year. But I'm gonna lean with Philly. I think Philly can pull it out. With that 3.5, I'm going with Philly. Next game, next on the board, Cleveland at Toronto. Cleveland giving 6.5 on the road at Toronto. Max Strauss is out. He's the only one that's really out for Cleveland. RJ Barrett is out. Kevin O'Leary is out. Nonetheless, Toronto, they one of the worst teams last year as well, just like Detroit. If you ask me, sprinkle some dirt on them. They L Trashington. Could they hang and open tonight? We got the energy, got Toronto behind them. Cleveland is one of those teams that they got the potential. We all, when Shaq told Donovan Mitchell when he was on Utah,
Like, he don't think he could do it, and then Donovan came out, he was balling. They traded him. I wanted him to come to my New York Knicks. He ended up going to Cleveland. You know, he is a New Yorker upstate, though. You know, he's from New York, not from New York City, but nonetheless, I thought he was going to come home. Got Cleveland in the playoffs the last few years. They do have a good team. We waiting for Evan Mobley to really take a step forward. Garland got to play with the ball. Donovan got to play with the ball. New coach. Because Dave Brickestad or whatever his Brickerfield or whatever his name is, and I'll be messing up the names if you watch my show. Pardon that. I'll be saying all the names right, but nonetheless, you get the point. He's in Detroit now. I don't think they should have let him go. Now they got the ex-coach of he been around actually. Atkins. He been in Brooklyn. He been in I think Clippers. He been to a few places. Now he's in Cleveland. I don't doubt Cleveland could come in there and could do a cleaning. But I don't think they do. I think Toronto, you know what? I'm going to go with Cleveland. I think Cleveland will go in there. They're another team that in the preseason kind of like playing around. I'm gonna go with Cleveland first game of the season. I like Cleveland. Next on the board, we got Chicago at New Orleans. New Orleans giving 6.5. At first it was 7.5 when I was looking at it yesterday. And just so we clear falls with time, it's been a little hot. Even though I'm drinking my coffee right now, we about to go to the gym and get it in. You know what I'm saying? It's 12:38. You know what I mean? In the afternoon. And we're looking at RotoWire as we do the picks. That's something you should be taking a look at every now and then. But you do know certain players, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard when he is still playing, Giannis. Certain players always be on the injured, report, but then they still play at nighttime. So that's just something to take a peek at. Right now they got Zion, game time decision. I guess he got an illness. They got Devontae Murray, personal reasons. Sometimes they do that to try to dupe you, if you ask me, when you betting your money. Lonzo is back. Good for him. It's been over 1,000 days, 1,000 days and 1,000 nights. Finally back, even though to his own, credit or words, he like, I don't know if I'm going to be the same player that I was. And he just was starting to get, in my opinion, and, in top tip form as far as, shooting the ball and obviously seeing the court well. We all know that he had the passes. He played tenacious defense, etc. Glad to see him back. I know Chicago fans is glad to see him back and the Ball family. They got Josh Giddey. They traded Alex Caruso. He is on OKC. They don't play tonight. I like the move of Dante Murray. You got McCollum, you got Ingram, you got Zion. Those four pieces, that's a hell of a starting five, obviously, with Herbert Jones. I'm going with Chicago. I'm going to take the 7.5. I don't doubt that Pelicans win, especially if, obviously, Zion plays and Devontae Murray play. But I'm going with Chicago. I think they put up a fight. I think it's a close game. 2-3 baskets. 4 baskets the most. What that will probably put you right there by the spread. I think Pelicans will cover, but I think Chicago probably will backdoor cover. I wouldn't be surprised if they coming in and they win, to be honest with you. Next on the board, we got Charlotte at Houston. LaMelo Ball back healthy. Brandon Miller, he showed us last year that he was worthy of going high in the draft. Bridges is back. He been back from suspension. Up and down team. Obviously, Melo is the engine that makes the team go. Houston had a lot of injuries last year towards the end. Did they make the play? They got bumped right at the end of the season. I don't recall, the season be coming at you fast. When it's over, it's done. But I think they did play in one of the playing games, but they didn't make it against Golden State or something like that. I don't want to misspeak. If you know, then you just leave it in the comments. But anyway, Houston is fully healthy besides Adams. Obviously, that's a big piece. Is that Adams that I think it is? Yeah, Steven Adams. He not there. But Houston been a good team at home. Last year, they've been a profitable team at home. Charlotte ain't really showed us nothing. 7 is a lot. Actually, it's 8. Is it 7 or 8? Depending on CBS app, I got 7. FanDuel. And, there'd be a lot of moving parts when it comes to the NBA when you're making these videos and things is live. Yeah. Now the Pelicans is 5.5. Probably Zion is not going to play. But what game he was looking at? He was looking at Houston. Houston is 7.5. That's a big number to cover opening night. I think they can cover though. I think Houston do win. I think Houston do cover. I'm taking Houston. Next game on the board, Memphis. Memphis, John Morant, welcome back at Utah. At Utah, you know what I mean? Utah, middle of the pack team is tough in the West. The Wild Wild West is always tough. Memphis last year, up and down team. Obviously, a lot of injuries, not a lot of synergy between the team. They star players out. John Morant, when he is healthy, when he is engaged, he is top 10 players. You know what I mean? Some probably got him top 5. That's why I'm like, LeBron is nowhere near in top 5, even though last night he didn't really have to put up a lot. AD was the dominant factor last night. He showed out last night. Let's kudos to him. But LeBron is not top 5 no more, in my opinion. With that being said, just coming back, look a little, I think he got injured or he landed on his feet a little awkwardly. You know, John Morant is, he's a high flyer. And with that being said, -2. I'm gonna lean Utah at home. I'm gonna lean Utah. I like Utah at home for some reason. Their atmosphere, their home crowd. They always, even though they not one of the top tier teams, when they play at home, they do play hard. They do play, you know, all systems go, and I like that. Maybe if they take that on the road, they'll probably be above 500 this year. We'll see. Season's just starting. Next on the board, we got the Golden State Warriors at the Trailblazers. Warriors giving 6. Trailblazers are another bum team from last year. Like, keep it a buck, Chauncey Billups. We rooting for you. You know, I mean, we want to see you do well. They got Henderson. They got Simmons, Jeremy Grant, DeAndre Ayton, and obviously the usual suspects is back for Golden State. A minus Klay Thompson. He on Dallas Mavericks now. They traded Tim Hardaway, got him. I'm not mad at that. I think they traded Green too, if I'm not mistaken, from Dallas. Golden State a little older. They look good in the preseason. I'm gonna say that. 0-5, I think. Let me check real quick. And again, I know it's the preseason, but I like the ball movement. I like the strength in numbers kind of back identity that they had, 16 years ago when, not 16 years ago. Steph been in the league 16 years, I want to say. Well, maybe like 13 years ago or 14 when they went to their first finals and they had, Bobosa and, all of the French players, etc. And they won their first ring over the Cavs. But real quick, let me look at the preseason schedule. Yeah, probably one of the only teams. Clippers beat Kings twice, beat Detroit, and beat the Lakers twice. Will that resonate over to the regular season? I think it will. I think Warriors probably going to finish higher than a lot of people think. I definitely don't think they're going to be in a play-in game this year. I think they're going to be top 5 team, top 6 team in the West. I think it's the 6th playing team too. It might be, but that's still better than 8 and 9 and 10 like they was last year. With all that being said, Portland, I'm sure they come out, put a good effort, but I'm going with Golden State to clean them tonight. I like Golden State. The public like Golden State too. Last game of the night, folks. We got Phoenix Suns at the Clippers. Clippers opening a new arena. Clippers look pretty good in preseason too. Got a lot of young players. Obviously, in my opinion, not obviously, but in my opinion, Ty Lue is definitely one of the the best coaches in the league. Phoenix, they got Tyus Jones, so they addressed the point guard. Not really a lot they could do. And even though Kawhi is out, even though Westbrook is not there, not really nothing to do with the new arena. Just the fact that when you look at the history or the last, when I say history, I mean like the last 5-6 games, Clippers got Suns' number, and that's with Kawhi, without even, I know they have Paul George, etc. So they got a lot of people that can play defense, etc. on on Phoenix. However, I'm going with Phoenix. Going with Phoenix to come out, win. Booker, Beal, Kevin Durant. I'm Kevin Durant. I think they come out, open the season up like they supposed to. Last season, they had a lot of expectation on them. Didn't quite get there. This season, another year under the belt. Obviously, it's a new coach. They fired, what's the name, if I'm not mistaken? I think they did fire the dude that won the ring with LeBron and them in the bubble, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, I still like Clippers to come out. You got 3 dominant players. Obviously, Harden's probably still going to be top 15. I know Shaq and them was doing their list last night. Top 50 players currently this year, and I think they had Harden like 29 or somewhere, and he might be. I don't think he'll be enough. I know they got Norman Powell. I know they got Zubats, but I just don't think it's enough. I think Phoenix come out, show their ass, and get the victory. Let's get to the locks, as I like to say on my football channel. When I'm doing my football picks, I say, now let's get to the locks. Not from Yonkers, but the locks that get you and me the winner chicken dinners.
Yeah.
This is who I'm betting my money on today. I like Miami. I like Utah. I like Indiana. And I like the Suns. That's who I'm betting with tonight. That's my 4, if you will, premiums, as the other channels like, yo, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, please do that. But they're like, yo, jump on, sign up, long-term deal, short-term deal, so they could give you the picks. I'm going to bet my money anyway. And if, like I said, if you get familiar with my channel, one of my slogans, one of my sayings is, that's your money, son. I'm going to bet my money anyway, whether you buy a package or not. And I may still down the line, put up some premium where you got to pay for the package. But for right now, that's just what it is. So we're going with Miami, Utah, Indiana, and we're going with Phoenix. Yeah, kid. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV, and today was day 2 of NBA Picking with Pop. Yeah, kid. That feeling.